enjoyed our opening overture by our award show orchestra under the direction of Tom Marachka, with arrangements by Aaron Dusing. Today, we're loving the polka life. We're celebrating the good times and the not so good times, all to the rhythm of the polka and the glide of the waltz. The polka life begins at home, and no one is more at home with the polka life than two people who came back home to get this show underway. With our official welcome, and here to perform their award-winning new Song of the Year, Home, please welcome from Nashville, Polka Hall of Fame Lifetime Achiever Lynn Marie and Eddie Burdick III.
Hey, how y'all doing? We are so happy to be here, and I gotta tell you, I am honored and proud to have been loving the polka life for 54 years. I know. Yes, I'm that old. How about you, Eddie?
You know what, Lynn? I have actually been loving the polka life for 49 years now. 49 years.
So that's 54 and 49. That's 103, right?
That's right.
What else is that?
That's how many years Ron Slugan has been loving the polka life.
No, we love you, Ronnie, and we love all the musicians in this room. There is not a musician here who I know wouldn't give me the shirt off their back.
And if you're Dan Latilla, the hair off your head.
All right, y'all, let's get this party started.
Are you guys ready to love the polka life? 1, 2, 3.
Love is crazy, wild ride we go.
and a Lifetime Achievement recipient, musician and radio personality, Denny Bucar.
And a pleasant good day, ladies and gentlemen. And I have to say, that was the new original song by Lynn Marie E3, and he wrote it for third, and we congratulate you on that. And I also have another little secret, but before we do that, I would like to present you with your award. Nice round of applause, please.
It's going to go on Lynn Marie's show.
But the little secret I have, I've been keeping tabs on. 6 months, 3 days ago, they were Mr. and Mrs. in Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah. And at this time, too, I would like to announce the other nominees that were up for this award, okay? And was Fred's Polka by Fritz Schertz, La Parisienne by Al Battistelli, Rapid Fire Polka by Mike Schneider, and Why Don't You by Lyle Schaefer. They were on the ballot this year, but home took it by Lynn Marie and E3. I'd like to introduce you now to our next presenter, as I welcome the Honorable Olenka Jurak.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, thank you for having me here. I'm a new council, actually, so that's twice. I am glad to be here tonight. Thank you to Hall of Fame to preserve not only the Cleveland cultural heritage, but also Slovenian one. So, I hope you will enjoy the evening. Now let's go to the nominees. I will present the annual awards for, of course, what else? Cultural heritage and support and promotion. And here are the nominees.
For cultural heritage, the nominees are Tony Kleppen, Slovenian Society Home, Rare Hall, Euclid, Ohio. SNBJ Farm, Kirtland, Ohio. SNBJ Recreation Center, Enon Valley, Pennsylvania. United Musicians Polka Association of Pennsylvania, Papa.
And now the big moment. The Cultural Heritage Award 2019 goes to Polka Hall of Fame, SNPJ Farm, Kirtland, Ohio. Congratulations.
We are very honored to accept this award. We worked very hard to keep SMPJ Farm in Kirtland, Ohio going. It's non-stop, it never ends, always something going wrong. But we really, always, but we really appreciate all the people that come out and help.
And I'd just like to make a special mention. This has been our first year through here. We lost our good friend Lou Novak since the last award dinner, and it's been tough going, but hopefully we've been doing a good job in his memory and that. So Thank you very much.
Greg Volpe and Gina Volpe, executives with SMPJ Farm, and I'm Joe Valensek, president of the Cleveland Federation of Lodges, SMPJ, Slovene National Benefit Society, and we are the owners of the farm, and we have a wonderful team to bring you summer Sunday picnics every year at the farm. It's always a good time down on the farm, especially this year, our 80th anniversary, founded in 1939. Thank you.
For support and promotion, the nominees are Joe Gadina, Val Pulowski, Sharon Stadar, Joe Valencia, Pam and Jerry Zale.
And here we have the Support and Promotion Award goes to Pam and Jerry Jagar.
I'm not Jerry, I'm Jack Tandy. But we work at the same station, and we appreciate the award. Jerry, you couldn't be here, but thank you so very much from one of our Hartford people in Pittsburgh. Keep the polkas pumping!
Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the side video screens for a very special presentation.
Accordions made by Anton Merbar have been the most prized instruments among Cleveland-style polka musicians since the 1920s. He was also the owner of a popular music shop and brought local Slovenian artists to the attention of record labels such as Victor, Columbia, and Continental. Polka pioneers like Matt Hoyer, the Sims Brothers, and Joe Pusar built national careers with his help. Anton Mervar learned to build accordions from his father in Terboja, Slovenia, before moving to Cleveland in 1915. His diatonic and chromatic button boxes proved to be so popular that within 10 years he was shipping them across the country from a workshop and store he built on St. Clair Avenue. Mervar's Music House was the musical heart of the neighborhood, with records and players, radio, sheet music, and musical instruments of all varieties. Mervar may have made as many as 1,700 accordions before his death in a car accident with his wife. Musicians consider Mervar the Stradivarius of American diatonic accordions. His instruments are still valued for their fine crafting, impressive tone, and mighty deep bass. It's hard to imagine where the Cleveland style would be without Mervar's accordions and his record industry contacts. Anton Mervar, a lifetime of achievement.
To honor the legacy of our first Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, Anton Mervar, here are button boxers Wayne Golub and Dave Slick, along with Barbara Rogers.
Thanks, folks, and thank you to the Hall of Fame for this honor for Mr. Mervar. I want to thank Barb Rogers for making the arrangements in 2015 for Wayne Golub and Jerry Balish and myself to visit with Justine. When we were in the shop where these accordions were made, it was really surreal. At one point, Justine held my hand and she said, "Please don't let my father's name be forgotten. He was a gentle man. He was a God-fearing man. He would do anything for anyone. And Mr. Mervar, we appreciate everything you've done for us. Thank you.
Some 5 years ago, some of us Mervar enthusiasts formed a group on Facebook to share knowledge about Mervar accordions and Anton Mervar. And one of the members of the group was a fellow in Slovenia by the name of Matic Iskra. I was surprised to find out that Matic was actually living and was from the same city, which was Terbola, that the Mervar family was from. And when I told him that, because Matic was very interested in the Cleveland Slovenian sound, he was totally surprised. He had never heard that before. And he shortly went down to the museum, they have a town museum in Terbola, and asked what they had on Anton Mervar. He was shocked to find out that they had nothing. They had no idea who Anton Mervar was, who the Mervar family was, and that he had even made accordions. He came back with a really renewed zeal to right that wrong. And so for the past several years, we have been doing research on the memory of Anton Mervar and his wonderful instruments. I'd just like to say in a few minutes, Dave and I are going to attempt to the best of our ability to recreate the sound of the Mattia Hoyer Trio. As Mattia and Anton were great friends, and we're going to play a selection that he did in 1927 called Moj Prijatelj, or My Friend. Some 30 years later, Eddie Habit re-recorded it as the Slovenian home polka. So we are doing our best to recreate for you the sound of the Hoyer Trio in a few moments. Thank you.
I've been asked to come up here and to speak on Justine's behalf. Justine and I were friends for many years. We started out early as a teenager, always, many of us going to the music store and, buying our 45s and our albums and our needles for our record players. And she would have posters and t-shirts, and I used to think, boy, she's the oldest hippie I know. But she was always so gracious and kind, and if she didn't have something that we needed, we could come back the next following Saturday, and she would always have it, because she had such a large network of contacts, and she would be able to get us whatever we needed. And then as we grew older, both of us, we got to share a lot more time together, just her and I, and she talked many times about her dad. And she would tell me stories about how her dad would work from sunup, to sundown on those accordions, and how meticulous he was, and how it was hard for anybody else to work along with him because he was just such a perfectionist. And it's funny, Justine's gone now for a couple of years, but she actually was just like her dad. Exactly like that in her personality. She was gracious, and she was kind, and she was very, pristine in how she presented herself, how she spoke, everything that she did. And I want to say that it's an honor to be here, and it was an honor to know her. And Wayne and Dave really did not elaborate too much on that visit in 2015, but I got to tell you, it was spiritual. One of them played on her dad's accordion, and one of them played on her grandfather's accordion that he made. And it was very moving experience that I'm very honored to be able to have been a part of and experience that. So thank you for having me today, and thank you for the opportunity to be part of the Mervar family.
And now, performing on Mervar Button Boxes are Wayne Golub and Dave Slick, along with Eddie Rodick III and Hank Gazelle with the Slovenian Home Polka. To present our next two awards, we have
Powerful voiceover mentioned. I'm born and raised in Cleveland, and I love polka, so this is a really big honor for me to present these two awards of Button Box Individual of the Year and Button Box Performance Group of the Year. So let's take a look at the nominees.
for Button Box Artist Duo. The nominees are Patty Candela, Joe Gertman Jr., Ron Likovic, T.J. Likovic, Alex Meixner, Rick Schurz,
And the award for Button Box Performer of the Year goes to Joe Gertman Jr.
I know most of you, my name is Rosemary Cost, and I work at the Folk Hall of Fame. I talked to Joe Gertman last week, and I want to tell you, looking out there, it's a whole lot different than it is sitting out there and looking up here. I talked to Joe Gertman last week, and he said, Rosemary, I don't think I'm going to be able to come. As you know, the Gertman family is the house band for the Opera House in Pittsburgh. He said, and they've started their holiday hours earlier this year. And he said, you know, Rosemary, I think I'm going to make it into the Guinness Book. I said, why? He said, I've been nominated 29 times and never won. So he said, I said, Joe, maybe this is your lucky day. He said, Rosemary, if I win, you accept it for me. So I'm sure he will be so grateful, and thank you, everyone.
for Button Box Group or Band. The nominees are the Button Box Divas, Fairport Janitors, Ron Likovic and Friends, Magic Buttons, Patty C. and the Guys, Western Pennsylvania SMPJ Button Box Club.
Okay, and the award for this one, for Button Box Group of the Year, goes to Ron Likovic and Friends.
Here. Come on, Joey. Get up here.
Danny, where you at?
Oh, he's probably in the back.
There he is.
Frank, where you at?
Oh, you're right home, that's right.
Well, listen, a short story, but very true to my heart. If it wasn't for my sons and our backup, we wouldn't be who we are today. We wouldn't be able to enjoy this. Thank you to Cleveland Style Folk Hall of Fame. Thank you to everybody for listening to us. Now, my band.
And right now we do have performing Tara Zinka, the daughters of the late Ron Setnikar, Shelby and Susan, along with the award show band.
za nasz Krasen weekend. Thank you for coming to Cleveland to help us celebrate our Thanksgiving polka weekend. Allentown, Pennsylvania. Can we hear from Allentown? You know, Slovenians in Allentown are known as the Windish. It's the same thing. And oh, Canada. Do we have our Canadians here? And how about New York State? Cleveland, Ohio? Polka music follows us every step of our lives. To celebrate your birth, the folk songs your parents taught you, polkas on the radio, TV, internet, in your car, dances, parties, and festivals, even your wedding, and maybe your funeral too. You love the polka life because it makes you happy. It's nostalgic. A song can take you back to a special time and place. And as Frank Yankovic sings, you can dance, dance, dance all your troubles away. No one loved the polka life more than Tony Petkosik. And we're here today because of him. As a young polka DJ back in 1963, Tony hosted Cleveland's first Thanksgiving polka event to showcase the Slovenian and Cleveland style music he loved. Tony dedicated his life to polka music, and he revitalized the scene with his shows and events and got us to rediscover the joy of America's good time music and make polka part of our lives. Tony believed in polka so much, he inspired a group of us to create the National Cleveland Style Polka Hall of Fame, and many of us on the stage today were with Tony at that beginning. The Polka Hall of Fame is part of his legacy. He believed in the music, the performers, and you, the fans. And thank you for your donations to the Polka Hall of Fame in memory of Tony Petkosik. Colander Travel sponsored Tony's shows all throughout his career, and we're grateful to Colander for their help with this weekend, as well as Cal Elbon, Mary Kennard, and the Marriott staff. We appreciate the support of all the polka media, especially 24/7 polkaheaven.com and WINT FM 101.5 at 1330 AM. This weekend wouldn't be possible without the dedication and polka spirit of our board and volunteers, especially our Vice President, John Movich, and Denny Bucar, who masterminded this event. Also, many thanks to our show director, Ray Samich, and his expertise in bringing us together on this stage. Gary Ramey for the sound, Rizze Audio Visual for the video and effects, and Tom Rochka, our band leader, and also Aaron Dusing for the arrangements, and Phil Herberton for the photography. Today, each of you received a souvenir program book, and I'd like to thank Linda Hosevar, Frank Morosic, and Denny Bucar for putting it together. John Hasper is our Dutch friend from Spain who works on our website and produces many fundraising recordings for us, and also polkafame.com. And thank you, Hvala lepa, to the Office for Slovenes Abroad of the Republic of Slovenia, Urad za Slovence po svetu, Republika Slovenija, for their generous grant to support our musical archives. Your support helps us in our mission to preserve and promote America's good time music. We have a membership special this week. If you sign up as a new member, you get a special reduced rate. You can also take a chance at our weekly raffle and maybe go home a winner. And of course, check out our pop-up shop around the corner for a souvenir of your visit here. And you can check us out at the historic Euclid City Hall building on East 222nd Street in Euclid, Ohio. And also our many events coming up, our Sweetheart Ball on Valentine's Day Friday next year, the Super Button Box Bash on Sunday, April 5th, Dingus Day Cleveland, Monday, April 13th, our Mother's Day Dance, Friday, May 8th, and the Slovenian Sausage Festival, Wednesday, September 16th. Hvala lepa, uživajte ta dan in ta lep program. So thank you again, and enjoy the show, and stay for more dancing this weekend. Nasvidenje. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Welcome all of our out-of-state friends, local dignitaries, local polka people, members of the Polka Hall of Fame. My name's Ray Zalakar. You probably didn't know that, or maybe some of you did. It's my pleasure to be here today. We're going to announce the first Trustees Honor Roll recipient, Ron Setnikar, the button box artist and band leader. Ron was one of the first diatonic accordion players in the upper Midwest and became popular as the Iron Range button accordion king. He grew up with Slovenian music in Biwabik. Is that correct? Biwabik? Minnesota. Biwabik? Biwabik. That sounds like something Daffy Duck would say. Anyway. Learning the trumpet and the button box and half chromatic accordions. In 1982, he organized the Polka Chimes Orchestra and later the Button Box Showcase. His recordings included some of his original songs. Ron's final album featured daughters Shelby and Susan. He was inducted into the Iron World Polka Hall of Fame in 1999. Welcome again, Shelby and Susan.
It's no coincidence our dad, Ron Setnikar, passed on National Polka Day, August 9th, 2018. There was nothing he was more proud of than being part of the Cleveland-style polka scene. He would be so happy to see his musical legacy live on in his children. We are so proud to accept this award on his behalf. Thank you.
Very nice. Our next person for the Trustees Honor Roll, Val Pulowski, Polka Gal Val. Radio personality and polka promoter. Oh, hi. Val has hosted Cleveland-style polka radio shows for 25 years and has been one of the music's most enthusiastic promoters in the Cleveland Youngstown area. Little note, Val and I started at the same time. I'm much younger than her. Actually, I'm much older than her. As a polka impresario, Val has organized several polka dances each year, especially her popular holiday events at S&PJ Farm for Memorial Day, the 4th of July, and Labor Day. Wherever there's great music, wherever there's Cleveland-style music, you'll find Val the Polka Gal.
You know, this is the hardest part of my whole job. I can talk in a soundproof room and say anything, do anything, but when I have to come in public, they were keeping me from passing out backstage, so my thanks to you guys. 25 years loving the polka life. I think I started in 1995, and my first job was to do a live remote next to a garbage can at the East 185th Street Festival, because that's where they put me, across the street from Fritz's Tavern. And I buy this garbage can, and Johnny Venos walks across the street and said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "This is where they put me." He said, oh, well, okay. And he goes across to Fritz's, brings 6 guys over, puts chairs up, and starts a party right there. So I knew that loving the polka life started there and it would continue on for 25 years. My thanks to all the wonderful volunteers for the last 25 years, Brian and Allie and Marge Clark and all the wonderful people that help us at the farm. My thanks to the farm. My thanks to Ina and Valley, who always allow me to do whatever it is we do. My thanks to AJ Height, Joe Godina, and Ray Zalakar, because without Joe Godina, there wouldn't be any polka pick-me-up, right, Joe? He produces
On the family farm, and by age 14, was good enough to start his own orchestra. Walt attracted fans with his danceable sound and developed a loyal following, especially in German-speaking communities. He traveled to ballrooms, picnic groves, and Oktoberfest across the country and appeared on radio. He helped organize Pennsylvania's Bavarian Summer Festival. In 1957, Walt recorded the first of 18 albums, 7 for Stella Records and 11 on his own Chalet label. New Christmas Songs was a top seller. It's Polka-matic earned him a Grammy nomination. He has written more than 100 songs, notably Say Thank You Dear and Give Her Roses, and Papa, the Old Accordion Man, plus a new version of an old tune, No Beer Today. Walt has performed at Bethlehem's renowned music fest since it began in 1984. He hosted Café International, a weekly TV show, performed on cruises, and toured Austria, Germany, and Switzerland. In 1990, Walt was awarded the Austrian Decoration of Merit in Gold for promoting the country's culture. Walt Grover, a lifetime of achievement in polka music.
To present today's first Polka Hall of Fame Lifetime Achievement Award, here is one of our polka scene's youngest band leaders and a member of and musical arranger for our award show orchestra, Aaron Dusing.
Thank you very much, everyone. Hvala lepa. You know, back in August, I had the distinct privilege of spending time with this very, very special man near his home in eastern Pennsylvania. And when my band was touring out that way, I went to a house party at the home of Elise Steele, one of his great friends. And we jammed together, we sang together, we talked about old times, and there must have been 70 people there. And to see the heart that these people had for this man was just touched my heart. And he was always my idol growing up, one of the greats in the German field. He wrote so many great numbers, and his songs will always be played for years to come. And I'm now honored to call him one of my great friends. It is an honor, ladies and gentlemen, for me to present to you Mr. Walter Ostanek.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I'm sorry that I have to come on stage like this, but after going down 28 steps and coming up 28 steps last night, I need a cane. You know who did that last night? Some of you did it. It's good exercise, but anyhow, I have a little trouble walking. It's an honor for me to be here this evening for this great Slovenian group, because I always enjoyed Slovenian music, playing Slovenian music, because it has such a beautiful melody to it. Not only that, but my parents, they were born in Austria, in the Burgenland, and of course the Burgenland is border Slovenia. So the music is kind of the same. I had an accordion when I was 4 years old. I left it outside. It rained and fell apart. But my father bought me a new one. So I'm very happy to be here. And with Aaron, such a talented gentleman. He's the guy that brought me here this evening. And it's an honor to be here.
Performing Say Thank You Dear and Give Her Roses. Here is Aaron Dusing and the Award Show Orchestra with new Lifetime Achiever Walt Groller on vocals.
Man, listen to the vocals. Listen to the words and then. Say thank you, dear, and give her roses. She'll understand and love you more each day. Say thank you, dear, and give her roses for all She'll always be by your side. She'll be your guide. So you must let her know just what you feel inside. Say thank you, dear, and give her roses. She'll understand and love you more each day. Say thank you, dear, and give her roses for all she's done in every way. Each day seems to pass her by, and night time too. And sometimes we wonder why she sticks by you. Her day's work is never done. The years go by. But if you think of it, the song is worth a try. Everybody, say thank you, dear, and give her roses. She'll understand and love you more each day. Say
Graysick, polka TV host and button boxer. Bill Sullis, polka promoter and radio host. Don Slogar, band leader and accordionist. They were all on the Trustees Honor Roll and will always be on the Trustees Honor Roll. Lost this year, Ron Ostalash, longtime accordionist with Del Sinchek, also played with the Casuals for a few years. Joe Banich, one of the Hawville Slickers from Indianapolis. Doris Day, who sang on recordings with Frankie. Janis Lentz, one of the longtime singers with Loisa. Ray Dorschner, Wisconsin band leader. Ralph Janetz played guitar and banjo for Jack Taddy. Lou Kashurshnik played guitar for Don Ost, Joe White, and Art Perko. Steve Kuchemski, one of Frank Yankovic's Pennsylvania-based accordionists. Henry Muck, saxophonist with the Al Battistelli Orchestra. Lou Novak, the famous Dr. Slivo from SMPJ Farm and the National Board. Fornika Pozek, a Slovenian songwriter who worked with Lois Locke. Ron Setnikar, founder of the Minnesota Button Box Showcase. Tony Spendall, button boxer with Zeke and Charlie. Charlie Tomaszek, Canadian accordionist and promoter. Ray Zabak, saxophonist with the Eddie Stanfield Orchestra. Joe Weber, Pennsylvania band leader and accordionist. And Ronnie Kazmarek, my partner on Saturday morning polkas, casual time polkas. Rest in peace, guys. Here's the Vandal Tribute Band.
I was driving through the town on a Sunday afternoon, and all I had was $1. I stopped into a bar just to have a little drink, and then I
Trustees Honor Award. Actually, it's 3 in 1. Here is a familiar host from 31 of our 32 annual award shows from WINT Radio, Ray Somich.
Hey everybody, good to be back with you. Before we let these guys go off stage, we announced them as the Vadnal Tribute Band, but you probably know who they are, but we should exactly tell you who they are, because we especially have two brothers here. We have Jeff and Tony Fortuna, part of that group here today. Okay. All right, I apologize for family members here. And we have another set of brothers with Danny Watella, and you'll meet his other brothers shortly because they're going to be back here later on for introducing one of our annual awards. And we have Hank Gazelle here on the stand-up bass. The Fortunas at the end. What do we got? Father and son. Wow. Dad, you're looking pretty good there, Dad. Well, I stand corrected. You know, I've made about 827 mistakes over the 31 years, so now it's 828. But let's also recognize that this was our second all-time hit for our 2019 season. So No Beer Today was what you all voted as our lifetime hit for this year, performed by the Vadnal Tribute Band, the Fortunas, father, son, whatever they are, Danny and Hank. Let's hear it for them one more time, please. And the drummer,
Stand up, Larry!
Larry Sintek, back there on the drums. Larry, thank you so much, Larry.
Tony's internationally recognized radio program featured Cleveland style and Slovenian folk music, interviews with civic, travel, and entertainment personalities. Tony interviewed many polka music leaders locally, nationally, and internationally. Tony taped conversations with two presidents of Slovenia and national news correspondents here in the United States. Tony was a former partner and vice president at the long-established Colander World Travel. In 1967, Tony originated the concept of the Polka Tour and as a result arranged and was the co-host to thousands of travelers who saw the world accompanied by polka bands from across the country. Tours through all of Europe, South America, the Caribbean, Alaska, Hawaii, and even Australia were guided by America's polka ambassador, Tony Pekosik. Tony established a core volunteer booster group, the Cleveland Slovenian Radio Club, which headed up many community projects, raising thousands of dollars through radiothons. In 1963, Thanksgiving became a polka holiday weekend, commemorating Tony's initial broadcast on Thanksgiving Day in 1961. Tony, a founding member of the American Slovenian Polka Foundation, helped to establish the National Cleveland Style Polka Hall of Fame in Euclid, Ohio. Tony is a Lifetime Achievement inductee. Throughout his career, Tony received over 100 awards and proclamations presented by international, national, state, country, and city representatives and organizations for his contributions to the community. In 1967, Tony was named Slovenian Man of the Year, the youngest person ever to receive this great honor. Tony was inducted into the prestigious National Broadcasters Hall of Fame in 1991. Tony considered the Slovenian polka community his true family. Tony's long-running polka radio show continues in his name and tradition on Saturdays from noon till 2 p.m. on WINT 1330 AM, 101.5 FM, and simulcast worldwide over 247polkaheaven.com. Tony's radio legacy continues on, hosted by Denny Bukar, Joey Thompson, and Joe Valensik.
Most of you, and a quiet man. Even after 50 years, his very public life did not come naturally to him. He pushed himself well beyond his comfort level because he knew it was necessary in order to fulfill his purpose, to be all that he knew he needed to be. Tony never stopped thinking. He never stopped working. For those of us that worked with him, he was constantly making notes, looking for ways to make things better, from day to day and from show to show and from year to year. He wanted to be the best because he wanted to impact and touch and reach more people. And you may not have realized that Tony was really a man of love. Without having a personal family to give his love to, he showed his love in his own unique ways. Not the least of which was preparing and self-producing over 35,000 hours of radio shows and over 50 years of major polka events for us. Maybe at first they were for his own satisfaction, but you don't work that hard for 57 years for yourself. He did it for you and for me and for us. You see, Tony didn't choose to love sometimes. He lived love. He chose to become love. And of all of his phenomenal accomplishments, his greatest legacy is that he accepted each and every one of us and all the people that listened to his shows and came to his events. He accepted us as his family. And he loved us all. And all of us, his family, really did love him too. We will miss Tony, but we will never forget him. With some additional words and music, Joey Johnson.
And love he did. In fact, he died on St. Valentine's Day. 600 people or more attended the funeral proceedings for Tony. Those that couldn't be there watched on social media, others listened on the radio, and of course hundreds sent sympathy notes. The St. Clair Slovenia National Home, known for a place of good times and high spirits, great music, had become a final resting place for Tony as he lie in state in the main hall in a flag-draped coffin as one of the very few individuals that ever had that honor bestowed upon them. Years ago, I wrote and recorded a song entitled Remembering. And over the years, time and time again, the song has been performed for our bygone friends, many of whom were members of Tony's original Cleveland Slovenia Radio Club. Please join Hank Gazelle and myself now as we remember a man whose vision back in 1963 put a whole new spin to Thanksgiving holiday and made it America's greatest Cleveland-style polka celebration. Ladies and gentlemen, Remembering.
his family band as a child. He first picked up the accordion at age 6. At Duquesne University, he earned a full scholarship and was a featured soloist with the renowned Tamburitzans, touring the U.S. and abroad with the group. His Al Meixner Trio featured son Alex on the accordion and several instruments. Al was a musician and arranger at Walt Disney World in Florida for 7 years. He produced and engineered more than 70 recordings for himself and other artists. Most notably, a track on the 1994 Grammy Award-winning album by Canada's polka king, Walter Ostanek. With his wife Joanne, he created the Joe L record label and owned the River's Edge recording studio. His albums included Buttonbox Treasures, Namastu, and Like Father, Like Son. Al performed many styles, but he specialized in the Austrian, Slovenian, and nationality music he loved most. Al Meixner, a lifetime of achievement.
To induct the incredibly versatile and talented Al Meixner as our newest Polka Hall of Fame Lifetime Achiever, here is accordionist and radio host Joe Gadina.
It's really an honor to be here today to present this award to one of my dear friends. I met Al Meixner many years ago when he was in the Duquesne Tamburitzans. We became fast friends until the end. It's a great honor to present this award, and it's well overdue, I might add. And I'll present it to his son Alex right here today.
I'm normally not short of words. This is a really difficult one. My dad was my hero. I wouldn't be doing anything I'm doing today if it wasn't for him. He passed away on the anniversary of his brother's and on the birthday of his first grandchild, my daughter. Excuse me. He was a great man. We had our differences. I've been trying to find the right words for all of this. I'm so thankful to Joe Cadena for being his friend for all these years. And to everybody here at the Hall of Fame for giving my dad this honor. I'm saddened by the fact that he's not here. And I'm saddened by the fact that he doesn't know his grandchildren and that we weren't able to continue the music that we made for so many years. Thank you. It's particularly fitting that Walt Brother is being honored at the same time. My dad's father and uncles played for Walt's wedding, Walt and Marilyn's wedding. My dad and Walt played together many, many times through the years, and I'm especially honored to be able to share the stage. Darlene Vega is going to come up and sing 2 songs that she recorded with my dad. And Aaron has arranged some songs, and Fred Zwick is going to join us to play Slovenian Gold and Potpourri.
In tribute to his father, here is Alex Meixner in a medley of his father's favorites, with a little help from Darlene Baylog and Lifetime Hall of Famer Fred Zwick.
Lepo je živeti
Srebica zdrava kod len, sladak je poljubac njen. Srem, divan je kičeni srem. Srem, lepo je živat u njem.
to come to the United States. And one of the songs that he's going to be performing was Tony's favorite song that he always asked him to perform. From Slovenia, joined in just a moment by Niko Gregovic and John Perfolio. Please welcome the incredible Dennis Novato.
Gary Fitness, Murray McFadgen, Ken Slovinsky, and Dave Skirner. Thank you.
For Vocalist of the Year, the nominees are Gary Bindus, Murray McFadgen, Eddie Rodick III, Kim Skavinsky, Dave Schreiner.
Folk Hall of Fame Vocalist of the Year, Murray McFadden.
All right, I'm not sure if Walter is coming out. There we are. Okay, first Murray has played with Walter for
100 years.
100 years. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, Canada's Polka King, Walter Ostanek.
Murray, you deserve this very much. God bless you.
For Musician of the Year, the nominees are Anthony Solgar, Joshua Kay, Alex Meister, Brian O'Boy, Eddie Rodick III, Rick Schurz,
And recipient for 2019 Vocal Hall of Fame Musician of the Year, Brian O'Boyle.
Thank you very much. What an unbelievable ending to the best year of my life. I want to thank most of all my beautiful wife, Katie, and my son, Joey, who now has motivated me even more to keep this music alive. I want to thank all the people that I have shared the stage with, or currently share the stage with. They make me sound good and look good. They make all the difference in the world. And also, I want to share this award with everybody else on that list. They all deserve it just as much as I do. Thank you so much. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for our final performance of the show. And we had a lot of different thoughts about how to do it for this very special tribute program. We decided, well, we could do it big, or we could do it simple and meaningfully. And as you've heard over the years, Tony Prokosek had two cousins that he loved dearly and that have always supported him, and he supported them as well. We're talking about the two people that are going to be performing here for us to start our finale. Please welcome Canada's Polka King, Walter Ostanek, and Kathy Ladd, Tony's cousin. They're going to be performing a couple of different beautiful songs in the Slovenian realm, of course, which was so near and dear to Tony's heart and so near and dear to so many of our own hearts. Živio and Friends. And we may even have a few friends joining.
on drums.
Well, we're just about done with another show here. Award Show 32 is just about in the books. We have our last couple of major awards, and then we'll say goodbye for another year. I don't know if there has been a show that I've been a part of in 31 years that has been so emotional. We felt it. I don't know if perhaps you have on your side too. Of course, Tony at the very core of this, but Alex, the Watillas, and so many others that spoke so fondly, Setnikar daughters. There was just so much emotion that's in this room here today. You can call it emotion, you can call it passion, call it determination, call it love, but I have to believe you felt it too. It's what drives our musicians to perform at the highest possible level. It's what takes our promoters, like those that won here today, like Tony, like Val Pulowski, that inspires us to say we can push a little harder. We can do it a little better. We can try to touch people a little bit more closely. And it's a commitment that you all make when you continue to come to events like this. When you come to shows and you come to dances and you pay your hard-earned dollars that used to be free, and then were $1 or $2, and now they're $5 or $10 or more. It's a commitment that we all make. And so we wonder, why do we do it? Is it worth it? I think it's days like today when you see the raw love and emotion that comes forth from the recipients of these awards, to know that people like you appreciate people like us. And when our friends pass away, and our parents pass away, and our brothers and sisters, we lose a little bit of that in our own heart. We all know we're not going to be here forever. 31 years, we have lost many of our dear friends. Many, many great musicians used to be in the shows with us. We used to laugh and joke with them. The camaraderie that you still see on the stage. And now, they're in Pocahontas, as we all hopefully will be one day. But until that happens, ladies and gentlemen, we have the opportunity to love life, to love the polka life, to inspire our children and our grandchildren to come back to our cultural and our heritage. There was a time, I do believe, when a lot of young people resisted. They weren't sure. Maybe it wasn't hip, it wasn't cool, it wasn't okay. But that day is gone. Right now, it's anybody's world to do anything that people want to do. And if you have to think about where the values are, where the core beliefs that brought our ancestors from the old country to America, inspired by the great music and the cooking and the camaraderie and the culture, the traditions, it doesn't get better than this. So please do inspire your children and your grandchildren. Bring them next year. Bring them this year to a polka dance. And let them experience it for themselves. Because we've got something very, very special. And in a world where there's a lot of things that aren't, that look shiny on the outside but have no surface, have no depth, we know we have depth. It's far below the surface. Please help us continue to keep it going for many, many more years to come. And do yourself and your families a favor by inspiring our young people to continue to be here. We have 2 more awards. We thank you for being with us.
To present our final annual awards, here are the musical sons of a family raised with a devotion and love for polkas. Joe, Mike, new trustee honor roll recipient Dan, and lifetime achiever Donnie, the Whitilla brothers.
All right. 2 more awards. So speaking on behalf of all
Wait.
the...
Wait. Why do you always get to do the talking?
I'm the oldest. I'll settle this. Dad said never in a fight, so here.
We now present the annual awards for Band of the Year and Recording of the Year, and here are the nominees.
For Band of the Year, the nominees are the Rob de Blander Band, Fritz's Polka Band, Eddie Kleinick and Friends, Quadruple and Sogar Band,
And the Band of the Year is... ...2019 Polka Hall of Fame Band of the Year. Not yet. Band of the Year, my good friends, Kleinick and Friends.
On behalf of the band, I want to thank everyone who voted for us. I want to thank all of our friends, all of our family, all of our fans, from the past, the present, and the future. I think that covers everybody, right? Good. So, I know you're not listening. I want to introduce you to the guys in the band that are still here today. Ryan O'Boyle. From Denver, Colorado, Eric Staley. Nick Rode, our banjo player. I don't believe he's still here. He's from Detroit, Michigan. The winner today, good friend Jerry Zagar on bass guitar. And newest member Eric Renata, who's singing with us as well as Rick. This music's supposed to be fun, supposed to be energetic. You're supposed to have a good time. We hope you like listening to us, and we hope we make you feel good. And we'll continue on as long as you guys are here. Thank you very much.
Band of the Year, the nominees are Me to You, Al Battistelli, Positively Polka, Tom Brewski, Home, Lynn Marie and E3, Having Fun with Polkas, Quadruple and Sogar Band. Make some noise, Alex Meister.
Okay, and the recording of the year goes to, well, I should say it like Donnie said, 2019 Polka Hall of Fame Recording of the Year, Home, Lynn Marie and Eddie Rhodes
running out of time, and Lynn Marie, write this down. She actually said I'm allowed to talk. And this couldn't be any better too, because I'm not the one to cry, because if Al Bambick was up here and Dave Schrader would finish my night too, because these are the guys here that I grew up with. Every musician in this house, no matter what. My dad taught me a long time. I was at Simpson's Tavern, and I looked up at somebody, I'm not going to mention names, and I said, man, he's not good. And he hit me in the side of the head. He goes, you can learn from every musician. You can. And I have. Every musician in this house has taught me. But there is nothing more dear to me than the Wattillas, Shriners, and Bambits, because you guys are all fathers, brothers to me, and I love you guys so much. Thank you so much. So, I'm going to say this real quickly. This award means everything to Lynn Marie and I, because it is coming home for us. We came back, she came back to her Slovenian roots, I came back to my Slovenian roots to play polkas, and we're going to stay here too, by the way. We're not just one and done. We're going to be here, we're already talking about another recording, an album, some other ideas we're going to be doing. But real quickly, all the awards, and this means more to you than you could imagine, it does. But what means even more to us is a boy who came into my life 2 years ago named James, who didn't want to listen to a radio, who didn't want to listen to music, who didn't want anything to do with music. And I met him 2 years ago. He's my stepson now, and now he will not stop playing polka music. God bless him, James. You know, that's what this is about.
I grew up in Maple Heights. Auntie Olga Ponivar taught me how to sing in Slovenian when I was 5. My parents played, my dad played the accordion, and I did a lot of things in my life as an artist, a lot of albums, 13, 16, something like that, and I tried a lot of different things. I always knew that I wanted to come back and do a traditional Slovenian polka record, and I thought about it for a long time, and my dad passed away in 2009. I thought about doing it then, and it just didn't seem right. And there's always a perfect time for lots of things in your life. And when I got together with Eddie, I just knew it was the right time, mostly because he could play all the instruments, and I didn't have to pay any other musicians. So, that was it, basically.
Slovenia, my blood.
Yes, exactly. If you listen to the album, Eddie did everything, except we need to point out that Don and JD in Wisconsin put all the sax parts and some piano parts. Steve Meisner played piano accordion on the album. Kathy Vogt, KC, played second button box on the album.
Andy Rodick, my dad.
Andy Rodick.
And last but not least, running sound here, Peppermint Studios, Gary
Gary
Ramey.
Ramey. And Steve Meisner from Wisconsin played on the album too. So we did the album as fast as we could, and it was filled with love, and the whole point of the record was coming home to where my heart was, which is right here, Cleveland, Ohio, and to my Slovenian roots, which I am very proud of and I will never forget. Also being home with the love of my life now, and my son, James. So thank you all very much for honoring the record. We hope you love it, and thank you.
If we have Denny's mic hot, that would be good. In the meantime, I want to thank all of the performers, everybody who has worked so hard to put together this show. We want to thank them. Can we have one big round of applause for everybody who is a part of this program and this show?
And I would like to thank all of you for being here, and congratulations to all our winners and, of course, our nominees as well. Thank you.
There was a football game today, and I don't know if you heard, but one of the teams scored 50-something, and the other team scored 20-something, and Dr. Blander, I'm sorry, it wasn't the Michigan Wolverines that scored 50. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless you all. Thank you very much. Plan on coming back next year. Drive carefully. Come back for the polkas tonight. Thank you.
Goodbye, everybody. Hope you enjoy the show 32 next year, 33.
The twinkle in your eye that reflects the stars in the sky. You've got the pretty little smile that makes it seem like it's all worthwhile. And when I'm feeling sad and blue, all I do is think of you. And thank the Lord above for our everlasting life. the jam. Those old new dolls